So, imagine you're sitting across from someone you just met, and instead of being your usual charming, witty self, your brain just completely
Oh,
flatlines.
yeah, you totally forget how to use your own arms.
Right, you're suddenly stuttering over basic words, your face is burning, and you find yourself staring at, I don't know, the table, the ceiling, your water glass, literally anywhere but directly into their eyes.
It is a universally humbling experience, honestly.
It really is. So today we are doing a deep dive into why some of the most intense, profound interpersonal connections you'll ever experience actually make you act like a complete and utter fool.
Yeah, and the source material we have today takes a really fascinating look at this specific dynamic. We're exploring what is often called extreme emotional resonance, or some people call it a twin flame dynamic.
Right, right.
And the text breaks this down across four different layers, basically. The physical body, the protective ego, our internal symbols, and even our perception of time.
And I think the core mission of this deep dive, the big revelation from the notes, is that this extreme shyness, that paralyzing embarrassment, it is not a sign of weakness.
No, no.
It's not social insecurity, and it definitely does not mean you aren't interested. We're going to unpack this so you can completely reframe how you view those moments of sudden self-consciousness.
Exactly. And to understand this, we really had to start at the foundation, which is the biological layer, the physical body.
Okay, so what is happening biologically?
Well, when two people experience this unusually strong emotional resonance, the nervous system gets thrown into total confusion. It's essentially dealing with nervous system overload.
Overload how? Like too much input.
Basically, yeah, it interprets the interaction through two totally opposing lenses at the exact same time. It registers an immense, undeniable attraction, but, and here's the catch, it also registers a severe existential threat.
Wait, a threat? So your brain is reacting to a super attractive person the same way it would react to, like, a bear in the room.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Because the primitive part of the brain, it prioritizes survival. And survival relies on predictability.
Right.
So on one hand, your system is hitting the gas. It releases this flood of activation signals.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart rate spikes, pupils dilate, alertness goes through the roof.
You're just hyper-focused on them.
Right.
Yeah.
Your biology is screaming, pay attention. This connection is important. But simultaneously, the brain detects unpredictability.
Because it's happening too fast.
Exactly. A massive loss of control. It cannot predict what's going to happen next, so it triggers a baseline threat response. You end up trapped in this mixed state of approach plus avoidance.
Oh man, that makes me think of driving a car. Like you're in the driver's seat and you slam your foot on the gas pedal, which is the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
But in that exact same split second, you rip up the emergency brake, which is the threat response.
That is a perfect analogy.
So the engine is roaring, the RPMs are maxed out, but the car isn't moving. It's just, violently shuddering in place.
Yeah, and that violent shuddering of the car, that translates directly to physical awkwardness in the real world.
Stuttering.
A stuttering, the nervous laughter, suddenly losing your train of thought. When you abruptly look away, those are literally biological regulation strategies.
Wow. So you're not rejecting them. Your body is just trying to manage being hopelessly overstimulated.
Right, it's trying to bleed off that excess tension so the hardware doesn't fry, basically.
That is so wild. Okay, so that's the biology, the physical body pulling the emergency brake. But what about the psychological layer? Like, if the nervous system is throwing up threat signals, what exactly is the ego trying to protect?
Well, think about normal attraction, a standard first date.
Right, you show up with your curated avatar.
Exactly. You have your polite questions, you know your best angles, you've got those funny little anecdotes prepared.
You're totally in control of the narrative.
And the ego's entire job is to manage that perception.
Mm.
But in these intense encounters, it bypasses that completely. The text calls this identity exposure.
Identity exposure. So the mask just drops.
It disintegrates. And when that ego structure destabilizes, your self-consciousness spikes. You realize you can't hide behind your usual identity.
Because they're seeing right through it.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel like something fundamental is being revealed without your permission. It's not normal social anxiety. It's a sudden, terrifying self-awareness.
Oh, wait, I have to push back on this a little bit.
Sure.
Isn't being deeply, truly seen the ultimate goal?
Yeah.
Like, we spend our whole lives wanting that. Why does achieving it instantly cause a panic attack instead of pure joy?
That is the paradox, right? But the source text explains this through a concept called vulnerability without gradual trust.
Okay, break that down for me.
Well, normally, trust is incremental, linear. I share a small secret, you respond kindly, My brain says, okay, they are safe.
It's earned step by step.
Exactly. Cognitive trust is built on historical data. But in these high-resonance encounters, total raw vulnerability shows up before that cognitive trust is justified.
Oh, I see. You haven't gathered the safety data yet.
Right. You skip steps 2 through 99. Your mind is so confused, asking, why do I feel this much already?
It's like being handed the keys to a massive mansion before you even know what city you're in.
That's exactly it. The embarrassment spikes because it feels unearned to the rational mind. The person sees you too clearly, too quickly.
Man, that makes so much sense. But it's not just about them seeing you, right? The notes transition into this third layer, the symbolic layer. It's about what you see when you look at them.
Yeah, this is the mirror effect. The concept of the twin is rooted in mirroring. When you look at this person, you're often seeing a direct reflection of your own unresolved traits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, repressed desires, disowned aspects of yourself.
So for the listener, it's almost like looking into a funhouse mirror. But instead of just making you look taller or whatever, it only reflects the parts of your personality you thought you successfully hid from everyone.
That is a profoundly uncomfortable mirror to look into.
Yeah.
And the text makes a really crucial distinction here. The unique discomfort, that awkwardness, is actually not a fear of the other person.
Wait, really? It has nothing to do with them.
Very little.
Mm-hmm.
It is a deep discomfort with what they reveal about your own internal contradictions.
Mm-hmm.
You're encountering parts of yourself you haven't integrated yet.
Okay, let's ground this. Say you spend your whole life being rigidly organized, you color code everything, you plan every conversation, because deep down you secretly fear your own chaos. Then you meet someone who embodies total free-flowing chaos. You aren't stuttering because they're intimidating. You're stuttering because their existence forces you to look at the chaotic freedom you've denied yourself.
Exactly. They're a psychological catalyst. And until you integrate those shadowed parts, their mere presence is going to feel confrontational to your ego.
It takes so much energy to maintain control when someone is effortlessly reflecting your repressed desires.
It's exhausting, which actually bridges us to the final layer, the metaphysical layer.
Right, because we have the biological breaks, the psychological mask dissolving, the funhouse mirror. How does all this affect our perception of time and reality in the moment?
Metaphysically, this is described as energetic recognition. Encountering a high-resonance counterpart creates a really bizarre paradox. It's a feeling of deep familiarity without any shared history.
Like you look at a total stranger and your brain just goes, I know you.
Yes. And because there's no historical data to back that up, it leads to what the text calls a compression of time and meaning.
Compression of time, so the intimacy is accelerated.
Unnaturally accelerated. So normal linear time feels distorted. Every single interaction feels incredibly loaded.
So every tiny moment feels disproportionately meaningful.
Exactly. A basic text message that you'd normally reply to in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
In this dynamic, you might stare at the typing bubble for 45 minutes.
Heart pounding.
Right, because your ego feels like a simple sounds good carries the emotional weight of a 10-year marriage.
That explains why it's so exhausting. So just to synthesize the big picture here, the deep intuitive system feels, I know you, but the rational mind is screaming, this is too fast.
Yes, and therefore, shyness acts as a buffer mechanism.
A buffer.
Yeah, we have to stop seeing the awkwardness as a failure. It is a vital tool to artificially reduce the pressure. You stumble over your words or break eye contact to literally break the energetic circuit.
Because sustained eye contact accelerates intimacy, so looking away hits the brakes.
You're regaining control of the pacing. It's a survival response.
Okay, let's wrap this up for everyone listening. When you feel that paralyzing shyness or embarrassment with a profound connection, it is not a flaw.
No.
It's not rejection. It is an incredibly complex stabilization response across your biology, your psychology, and your spirit, just trying to manage an intensity you don't have the capacity for yet.
It's keeping the building from collapsing while the ground shakes.
Exactly. But there's one final, really provocative thought from the source material to leave you with today.
Yeah, and it's something to definitely mull over. If we know that extreme shyness is just our system trying to hit the brakes on an overwhelming connection, what might happen if you consciously recognize that panic for what it is, took your foot off the brake, and simply allowed yourself to sit in the profound discomfort of being totally uncomfortably seen?
Wow, what happens when you let the car move forward? That is definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.